to look into my eyes, for example. Focus. If you're not looking into the eyes, you are somewhere else. So the journey is teacher and the seeker. Why I say that you have to look into my eyes? Teacher believes seekers 100%. So teacher is not worried. But the seeker changes his or her belief, faith, regularly. That is the problem of a seeker. Why you say that? Teacher says you are the real self, finished. Beyond your age, your profession, your gender, your upbringing, no, you are the real self. But the seeker continuously changes his or her belief, notion. So the entire journey of the Eastern wisdom, look from the point of view. Do you still remember 5E? Engage, educate, empower, evolve, and enlighten. So what the teacher does, teacher engages what is known as the guru. Guru means the knowledge. Simple. Guru is not the physical entity. So the teacher engages the intellect to examine the nature of the real self. Pay attention. Engages the intellect to examine the nature of the real self. Second is educates the same intellect or the mind to find out what is false in the real. And then empowers the intellect to think, speak, and act in personal, professional, and social lives to change. What happens? You evolve, the seekers evolve to a new level of awareness, a new perception that dissolves the false perception. I only see David, Jerry, and Janice. I don't see others. And the fifth one is the enlightened to settle in the real self. That is what is known as a way. Oh, it is so simple, then I don't believe you. You know, the seeker's mind says, no, it's a long journey. So seeker loses the whole to pay attention here. What I said in the first line engages the intellect to examine the nature of the real self. Again, I am repeating. It engages, the seeker engages the intellect or mind, whatever you say, engages the intellect or the mind to examine the nature of real self. Can we start examining? Say yes, so let us start. First statement. There is a mixture, impurity, and superimposition in you. What it means in you? So when you hear this word, that you is I am. Are you getting it? When I say there is a mixture, impurity, and superimposition in you. Oh, I am is a mixture? How can you say? I have already brushed aside all the problems of my honey. My word. No, I am. There is a mixture, impurity, superimposition in you. So when I say you, it means I am. It means I am mixed with a lot of impurities. We are examining how this I am is mixed, how I am is a mixture. I can give you first examples and then we will come back. I see the watch. The watch is a mixture of consciousness plus watch. Watch does not tell me that, come on, I'm a wall clock, why don't you see me? Why don't you recognize me? Computer screen doesn't say I'm open. Come on, start your session. But when I say, I am seeing the monitor, it is a mixture of consciousness plus the monitor. The moment you say, I am stressed, it is a mixture of I am plus stress. Are you getting it? I am consciousness plus waking state. Oh, I'm listening to you. I'm listening to you. I am plus listening. How do you say that? How do you say that? I am listening is one. So if I am listening is one, then you are listening 24/7? No. So sometimes you listen and sometimes you don't listen. And the listening is completed by the ears and the mind, and the consciousness is behind. I am consciousness plus listening. Because that very listening is constantly changing. Did you get it? I am two things. I'm just giving a mixture, only one mixture. The entire, my perception is a mixture. Who does it, intellect or the mind? My entire perception is the mixture. And that mixture is nothing but, you can say, the superimposition. We are still working on that. So once you are clear, 100%, I'm looking at the wall clock. Good. I am looking. Wall clock is not looking at me. Okay. So who is looking? Can I say that I'm looking, or do I recognize that it is the eyes and the mind is processing the information, and then I recognize the word of name in the form? The wall clock is the name in the form, and then I say I'm looking at it. So is it not a mixture? I am plus wall clock? Tell me. The awakened will continue to say, you are Dennis, you are David, you are Jerry, you are Stephen, but internally we have already separated that mixture. So I am consciousness plus sleeper. I am consciousness plus waker. I am consciousness plus dreamer. We are still into the very early phases of this learning. Master says that you are none of these three states. Now, who recognizes that you are a waker? Mind. Mind or intellect, whatever you say. Who recognizes that you were in dreams? Intellect. So intellect does all the mixture? Yes. Can I change the perception? Yes. How? By knowledge. So what the teacher does? Teacher passes on that knowledge. It engages your intellect. It educates. It empowers. It evolves. So you have a new level of perception. Once you understand it clearly, it only demands a clear understanding. That's all. So the mind or the intellect has a mixture of understanding. We take this mixture for granted. Taking for granted means unconsciously, habitually, impulsively. And when this intellect or the mind, let me use the word mind, when the mind takes all these experiences, there is a superimposition, or you can say there is a impurity, or you can say there is a ignorance. we are into ignorance, and then we are suffering. Intellect or the mind relies on its experiences. Oh, I met this beer guy, he is very arrogant, and he doesn't talk. Now the next time you are talking to the same beer guy, that impression of perception of arrogance supports your mind, then you come out with a perception. Now question is, what is the question? Do you rely on your experiences? Yes. I have learnt a lot of things from my experiences. Very good. So do you rely on the water in the mirage, the blueness in the sky, the highways running behind you, your soulmate in the early days, and after a few weeks, and months and years, your experiences changes? How can you say that your mind says that the dream, the dream, and the events in the dream are false? Who says it? Mind. And the same mind says, in a waking state, everything is real. You are real, I am real, my body is real. What is the difference between the events taking place in the dream and the events taking place in the waking state? Say, for example, you were listening in a dreaming that I'm talking to you. That is an event. In a waking state, I'm talking to you. Events are the same. Is it not? Why one is true, why one is false? No, it depends on my sense. It depends on your sense perception. There is a physical reality. Really? Are you right? Ask yourself. The way the mind falsifies all the events of the dream state, when your mind falsifies all the events taking place in the waking state, you are enlightened, you are awakened. Why to falsify? I am not speaking. Yes, you are not speaking. It is the mouth, the body. First I am the body, then larynx, and then the memory, then the intellect, and then I am speaking. Same thing happens in the dream state also. So that is why I told you there is a mixture of I am plus dreamer, I am plus waking state. Are you getting it? We are still understanding that how this superimposition is taking place. How the superimposition can be removed by understanding, by knowledge. There is no other way. So what happens, in Mondays and Thursdays session when, yes, you are practicing meditation, you are refining, you are changing the perception of your mind, you are reaching to a higher level of awareness. So that is another process. Here it is just an understanding. You need to understand. You need to understand clearly why my mind declares all the events in the dreaming state is false, why it does not falsify in the same way all the events taking place through the body, mind, intellect is also false. What is left? I am. What is this I am? I am consciousness. Oh, so should I stop working? No. We are working in the same way. The way you are working in the dream state, and still you recognize that it is false. So you are speaking is false? Yes, my identification with the body, mind, memory that created a false I, that is false. But behind that false I, there is a real I, that is consciousness. How can you say, okay, let me speak minus consciousness? Think. Let me see without consciousness. Let me hear you without consciousness. Is it possible? Answer is no. It is not possible. We say that you continue and keep listening to the teacher, and the teacher teaches from the Eastern wisdom, the knowledge. He passes on the knowledge based on his or her understanding. Then continuously here, what changes? The mind. Mind means perception. Perception means that you move from the false to the real. What happens? Awakening. How are you getting it? I said a simple example, the same events taking place in the waking state, in the dream state. In the dream state, it is the mind that recognizes it is false. It is the same mind that recognizes the waking state is real. So when the waking state is real, then I am the body is real. But the body continues to change. And what is changing cannot be real. So I continue to have a superimposition in a waking state that I am the body mind complex. What happens about the sleep? What do you say? Is sleep false? Real? Oh, there the mind is not there, so I don't know what is happening. So why don't you examine what is happening in the waking state and what is happening in the dream state? Why you leave the sleep as it is? His master is not let us go out of these three states. He is explaining on the same basis that there is a consciousness which is present in all the three states, unchanging. In all the three states, unchanging. So, unchanging consciousness present in the sleep state is the same as it is in the waking state, is it not? Yes. So when you say that I am stress, are you telling a lie? that very stress exists in the body and the mind and not in you. So why you say that I am in stress? Do you see your body in the sleep? No, I don't see. Do you exist? Yes. So one day in the waking state also this body will not exist. What's the problem? I'm trying to move you all ahead into the next step of this journey. Once you understand this clearly, it will bring the fourth stage, evolution. What is evolution? There is a new perception. There is a new level of awareness. That new level of awareness is known as the choiceless awareness. That is known as the live in mindfulness. That is known as the live in a moment. Nothing undergoes any change outside. Internally, there is a tremendous change because your experiences, which were superimposing on the mind, believing this perception is true, drops. Take another example. Now, we have to give examples. Why? Metaphor and examples. In a brighter day, you are looking into a clear pond. The sun is visible. Is it not? So, did the sun has entered into the pond, or it is reflection? We all know it. We all have an answer. The sun did not come from the sky and fell on a pond for me to have a perception. Am I right? Say yes. Same consciousness did not fall into the mind, but the mind, because of its very subtle nature, reflected into the mind, supported by the body and the sense organs, made a statement that I am a waker. I was dreaming. That dream is false and the waker is real. Both the statements are coming from the same mind, by the reflected mind. It is not coming from the consciousness. I am still separate. I am still independent. I am is still independent. That is the beauty of the journey of the Eastern wisdom. Intellectually, we have understood. But then that intellect must go down, descend into the heart. How? By regular contemplation and reflection. And then it gives rise to an understanding. What is that? Understanding is awareness, perception, knowledge, consciousness. Simple. Make it simple in the beginning. Then we will distinguish later at a higher level. How are you getting it? Sun did not fall into the pond, but I still perceive the sun is there. But in this case, when the consciousness so-called reflects into the mind, I claim it as real. So I become a waker, I become a sleeper, I become a dreamer, I have a lot of stress. Oh, yes, another example. I believe and I hope and I wish and I pray. What? You all have $1 billion into your bank account. What you are going to say? Pay attention. Dollar cannot make you feel that you are rich. Your identification with the dollar feels that you are rich. Am I right? You look at the genius of these masters. They say, oh, you have to live into that awareness. Dollar does not come and say, oh, now, huh? Now, Samir, you are the rich. Dollar never comes and says. No one comes and says that you are man and you are women. Come on, go ahead, inquire. Inquire into every. We have to remove this mixture. There are millions of these mixtures at all the time. Did you understand that? That dollar does not recover, or any currency, Indian currency or US currency, no currency declares that you are rich or you are not. My reflection, my experience. So when I falsify all the experiences which are constantly changing in nature, what is left? I am. What is this I am? I am. I am is absolute existence, consciousness, and bliss. That is why in Upanishads, that is the highest group of the text, including the Gita, what it says. You see that how simple statement it is and how deeper it is. In one Upanishad, it says, I have already talked about it many a times. Manaiva manushyanam karanam bandhamokshayo. Mind is the cause of bondage and awakening. Mind. It is not saying sit in lotus pose or practice a headstand for an hour, you will be awakened. No. These are the highest text. From that highest text, all these asanas and pranayama has come. First they were Manaiva Manushyanam Karanam Bandha Mokshayo Bandhai Vishaya Saktam. The moment the mind identifies, causes bondage, the mind drops the identification, freedom. How simply he put it. So I can see that on this principle, the entire journey of the self-discovery is based. I told you, seeker always changes. Seeker does not believe completely, because if you believe completely the saying of what the teacher says, that you are of the nature of the real self, matter is finished. But who has to believe and who has not to believe? The mind. So that mind creates a mixture. How the mind creates a mixture? Because all your perception, all your understanding, all your awareness is based on your past impressions. That is why we say you have to trust the teacher. pay or you don't pay, that is secondary. What is you pay, yes, I appreciate that, we need that. But you pay or you don't pay, that is not a criteria. Or how much you pay, that is not a criteria. Criteria is your perception. Are you a seeker who wants to change their perception? Look at this weird guy, he talks arrogantly. No, that is not the subject matter of this session. No, he talks lovingly. That is also not the subject matter of this session. And the mind deviates. Why it deviates? Because of the past memory. Mind is the cause of the bondage and mind is the cause of the freedom. So then what we say, okay, you have to fulfill the qualifications to be a seeker. Then we go on explaining each and every aspect, and that's where the journey begins. See another perception. No animal species are worried, they feel it. They change their location because of the prey in search of the water, but no animal species are worried about the climate change, elections, no, who wins the election or who is defeated. Heaven and the hell, not at all concerned. Because of that false perception, my mind gives me an experience. I'm suffering. Oh, I should have $1 billion in my account. I should have been rich. You see, all these statements is a false perception. Because I don't have it, so I'm in hell. This is the real hell. Don't go into start understanding and trying to give more weightage to any religion where they explain hell and heaven. Hell and heaven is here and now. It is caused by the mind. It is caused due to the ignorance. It is caused by the mixture. Who commits the sin, for example? I. Wait, what is this I? That I is a reflected sun in the pond, for that pond is a word, in a waking state. In a waking state, what I see? I am a waker. And in that waker, I perceive the word, the pond. How I perceive the word, the reflected sun. What is reflected sun is the mind. I don't have it. I have lot of sin. I have all the thing. I still become a sinner. Why? Pleasure-seeking mind. Mind is seeking the pleasure from the objects of the world, which it has already falsified the same event in the dream, but it says in the waking state it is real. What exactly you are talking about? Are you crazy? Same event. It is the mind that says it is a dream state. Why the mind does not say it is also, waking state is also a dream state? Do you still remember that young guy who went into dining into a restaurant and then he saw the girls and attracted? Why he didn't recognize, but just after the restaurant, he recognized it. He removed his sin. He realized it is also a dream. The dream in the waking state. The dream in the waking state, well, you don't love me, my honey. No, I hate you. I have lot of stress. So when you falsify Now, going back, I'm referring to one of the greatest, Master Krishna, who says you are not worthy of suffering. You are not worthy of suffering. Why? Because the suffering do not exist. In a simplified manner, again, I am. We are discovering the real self. The real self is I am, and then I am is a mixture. You're an executive or a leader in a corporate world, and you are now on a podium to speak. One eye says, I have already prepared and I'm going to speak. But the moment you reach there, your legs are trembling. Who is the real I and who is the false I? I can give you hundreds of examples. Who is the real I and who is the false I? So when I teach any leader, I said, you have to purify that I. It is impure, it is mixed, it is superimposed. That is why you have approached me. But the moment we are in a waking state, we are already a mixture. I'm beautiful, I'm handsome. That is also a very finer superimposition. How do you say that I'm beautiful or handsome? I'm just giving many examples. So you need to listen to it again and again and see. Consciousness is the same. Now that consciousness is still available, you are in a sleeping stage, consciousness is still available. Next moment, the waking state, that consciousness is reflected into the mind. Now that mind still recognizes that I'm reflected by the sun or the consciousness. The next moment, that reflected consciousness or the mind sits in the body. I am the body, I am the waker. When I am the body, then I am the waker. Honey, how are you? Because I have to wake up my honey also. So now the person becomes my honey. I become aware of the world. This world becomes my home. You see a lot of mixtures. Mixture. I believe you are getting into it. You see that mixture. That consciousness is still available. Why? Because I'm in the waking state. The waking state and the mind and the intellect says, yes, I'm conscious. But it says, I'm not only conscious, but I'm conscious of you. You are crazy, you are good, you are bad, I'm honey, I'm not honey, I have money, do not have money. A long list. Waking state, and now the waking state trying to resolve itself. You fall into the sleep. There is no body, there is no mind, because there is no mind and intellect to recognize that I am the body and the mind. So there is no rich, there is no poor, there is no birth, there is no death. Go ahead. There is no birth, there is no death, there is no pain, there is no pleasure. Don't you exist? So who creates all this problem? Mind. Mind is the cause of bondage. Mind is the cause of freedom. No, no, I'm not imposing anything. Because we recognize that imposition. A leader should recognize what is imposed on his mind. You de-superimpose, you are still a leader. And then now the consciousness is still there. Mind is not there to recognize that I'm a sleeper. Mind is not there to recognize that I'm a sleeper. So there is no problem, there is no birth, there is no death, there is no anxiety, there is no stress. There is no one is a leader, no one is honey, no one is husband, and no one is wife. No one is kids, no one is sibling. No one is a sinner. At least we exist. Sleep is highly democratic. Whether the Elon Musk sleeps or I sleep, we are the same. Do you see that? Huh? I have a luxury to become Elon Musk for a few hours. You can say that. Do you see that? We all have a luxury to do that. Because mind is not there. But is it possible to continue to live in the sleeping state 24/7? Not possible. The nature has designed in such a way our life. Then the dream state, oh, that's no problem because I falsify. But if you start, let me analyze my dream, and this dream is related to those impressions, you have already fallen into ignorance. We say dream is false, finished. Now I have to prove that this waking state, I have to find out those mixture and separate those mixture and falsify. When you falsify, what happens? That consciousness is pervading in the sleep state, in the dream state, in the waking state, independent. Again, I'm saying independent. I'm speaking. No, it belongs to the false side. That the speaker is done by the mouth and the mind and the intellect with identification with the body and the mind. Are you a listener? No, you are different and separate from it. Is it too much or it's a... That doer, that feeling, that so-called awareness that I'm a waker, I'm a speaker, I'm a listener, belongs to the mind, not belongs to you. Do you want to understand a little deeper? Let us understand. First thing very clear, that I am is neither the waker, sleeper, and the dreamer. Something came up to my, mind, and then it has already gone. So no worries. Yes, no worries. Mind knows the sleep. Sleep, after it wakes up, one thing is clear. The sleep of Elon Musk and the David and Jerry and Dennis, me, all are same. He, she, no worries, no doer, no issues, no fear of birth and the death. Tomorrow, there is no tomorrow, there is no today, or there is no past. But the moment we wake up again to the same world, because mind takes over the waking state, mind is active. That mind says, I was absent in sleep, I was present in dream, I am now present in the waking state. What is this mystery? What is this mystery? What is this mystery? So examine. That is why we say the entire journey of the Eastern wisdom is to find out who am I. Or you can say self-discovery, or you can say real self. Different words and phrases. The moment I enter into a waking state, both are mixture. Real I is also there and the false I is also there. But the false I takes over the real I. False I. Reflected sun takes over the real sun. Who will see into the sky? I am what I am. What I am. Oh, my honey cheated me, so I'm on the verge of the divorce. That guy day before yesterday talked me. No, let us don't talk about the honey. I'm more interested in my son. You take care of my son. He approached me to take care of his son. Whether you remember or not, Samir, 35 years ago in Karolbagh, there was one guy, Kharbanda, and he used to call me. 35 years ago. So he referred, he is now 80 years old, so he referred to the guy in US, and then he contacted me. So did I have the same expression which I have now 35 years ago? No. Definitely no. But did I have only a 100%, 200% trust that I am the real self? Answer is yes. Last point. What is last point? It is not the end of the journey, but you are aware. There is no intention of any sense organs to go out, the mind to go out, intellect to impose anything. There is no intention at all. Means my eyes are open. Whatever is perceived, whatever is heard, smelled is smell. No intention present in the mind in relationship to the senses and the world. You are already in a choiceless awareness. Where is the problem? Why to talk so much? We have already dropped all the association. That reflected sun realizes that I am the real sun. Why? Because I am the doer, I am the enjoyer, I am the waker, I am the dreamer. Now there is no identification. When there is no identification, you are already free. You are already free. When? Here and now. Close your eyes. Eyes are closed. Close your eyes. I am. I am. I told you this I am is a mixture. Who closed the eyes? You have to be here and now. Don't go too far. Because we go too far, we think that we have to go too far, and then there is a problem. Who closed the eyes? That I created by the mind. Mind is the cause. Okay, you said you close your eyes, so you're referring to me, but that me is a false I, is it not? And if that is a false I, behind that there is a real I. Can they ever be separated? Yes, they can always be separated in the intellect or the mind. Otherwise, there is no way to separate them. In your intellect, yes. In the field of awareness, yes. In the field of awareness, I'm separate from you, you are separate from me. No, I understand that you are, I am far from you, and you are the same way that false I is also far from the real I. What is false I? It is a matter, it is inert. Why it is inert? That's why I said you, the dollar or any currency does not tell you that you are rich. Because I own them. False I own them, hence I am rich. I own this body, I'm beautiful, I'm a woman. I own this body, I'm smart, I'm a handsome man. Look at it. I'm giving you very simple but yes, very interesting examples. I'm a speaker. No! First I'm the body, then I have a mind, then I'm an individual, and then I'm a seeker. So such a long journey takes place a fraction of a second? Yes. But that consciousness, that real I am, is separate, independent, different. But who caused this I? Be aware of the entire body and ask each cell of the body, do you say to me that I'm a sleeper, waker, and the dreamer? I'm raising another question to you. Body says that I'm sleeper? No. Dreamer says that because of the body? No. Waker? No. Then who says I'm in a waking state? Who says this? Mind. Or intellect, whatever you say. Mind, intellect, or I-ness, they all are different expressions. For the sake of understanding, I'm saying mind says that I'm a waker. Okay, mind says I am a waker. Body does not say, cannot say, will never say. Why? Why? Body is inert in a matter. But how the mind says when it is not the body? Because it identifies. First, the mind at the point of waking goes to the body. It embraces the entire body through reflected awareness. Then it says, I am here. But body never says, and the individual mind says that I am here. That I am, that individuality, by which we used to say, I'm rich, I'm poor, I'm beautiful, and I'm great. Look at me, I'm great. That I am is not the body, but it refers to the body. That I am, that I am. That is a bigger superimposition. And that is why, perhaps in a previous session, I discussed I am and I am man. They are two things apart. I am man. Man represents the characteristics of the body, normal characteristics. Otherwise, some men, they do not have beard, and other women, they have sometime. The beard also grows. I am man. I am a woman. I am stress. I am rich. I am. Who declares? Mind. Then what should we do? Mind is the cause of bondage and the freedom. Only one verse can transform the entire life. No, I believe you. Yes, you believe me, then you are already transformed. You see, intentionless mind in the intellect, intentionless perception by the sense organs, intentionless action by all the motor organs. Two options: we are animal or we are awakened. There is no third option. We are in ignorance, no option. Option of ignorance only comes when I am the doer and the enjoyer, when I have an intention. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand. Check your experience on the right hand. It was there before or not? It was not there because your mind was not there. But if the mind is not there, doesn't mean that this experience is real. Move the mind on the left hand. Now take your hand slowly up on your eyes. Open the eyes inside slowly and Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. We will share our experiences. If you have any question, you are free to ask. How are you, Dennis?
Thank you. Interesting session. I think there's an echo again. Can you fix it?
Micro. Anchor. Yes. Now can you hear? Hello.
Yes, interesting session with a lot of interesting examples. Surely a lot of things to think about, but one metaphor that came to my mind in the contemplation is this false I is the greatest drug of all, because the mind blindly believes in what this false I perceives. And no matter how much that goes through logic and reasoning to prove that it's false, this is false, and this is false, the mind still continues to believe what it perceives. But knowing that, we will continue to persuade the mind.
Yes, yes, yes. Mind is an instrument. Instrument. You see why we specifically say mind is an instrument which helps me like a car to reach to home and also to reach to the workplace. But you do not carry your car inside your bedroom. You don't carry it. You don't carry it. That is the problem of, yes, what is the problem? Let me see. Where is the, oh, this is anchor. Okay. So that is the basic problem. Anchor, anchor, logic, MD, logic, Braille, anchor, being capture. Oh, there's
It was only when Dennis is speaking.
when only when you're speaking, AMD, virtual camera, AMD, and this means this is not the problem. Problem is yes. Now you will have no problem. It's okay. It's okay. Are you listening to me? Yes. So yes, whether you say it is mind, whether you say it is a false I, whether you say it is intellect, it is the same thing. Everything is growing up in the mind. Everything is messed up by the mind. So we say that mind is the greatest master. Ultimately, he summarizes in a cryptic message. Mind, cause of freedom and bondage. Association, bondage. No association, freedom. Or you can say superimposition, desuperimposition. It's the same thing. Beautifully said. How are you, David and Jerry?
Again, love the lesson today. That my takeaway from the lesson was in the beginning. You said, quote unquote, I am stressed. So I did a little Dennis and I put that into a formula that I am stressed equals I am plus stressed.
Yeah.
If you eliminate I am from that formula, you're just left with stress, but you're not, I am not stressed anymore. And
Yeah.
so that kind of just kept reoccurring in my mind and thinking about just taking the self out of things relieves the attachment, relieves the stress, the anxiety, all those types of things. So I found it very fascinating.
Yes, yes, yes. Our mind goes to the client, and client did something wrong, and I'm going to fight. So false I is equal to real I plus fight. So what is the real I? The fight is gone. The idea of a fight, idea of a stress is gone. It can happen. It depends on our journey, our contemplation and reflection. Almost beautifully said, but it is the same thing. There are different ways of saying the thing. What Dennis says and what you said. How are you, Jerry?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, for me, same as Dennis and David, just reminding the mind that I am true, my essence. So I am consciousness, existence, bliss before I move to any other thought. So if I'm somewhere else, just come back to reminding myself what I am, and then I'll know what to do. I don't have to think about what to do.
Definitely. This is another way that your mind reminds you, keeps reminding you all the time. Then the time will come, then you need not to remind. By default, since our birth, we have learned I am the body and the mind. So the mind has repeated trillions of times. So that is why when we are embarking on a journey of the self-discovery, this mind keeps on reminding that I am the real self. And the time will come, your mind does not need to remind. That is what the practice of meditation is. You rightly said. So whether you start your journey from the real self, the essence, or you start the journey from the false I and you keep on dropping it. Almost it is the same. How are you, Brandy? Then yes. I'll come to you, yes.
I'm fine, thank you. I thought of two things with this lesson. One, the thing that Dennis said last week about kind of summarizing how it's easy to it's seemingly easier to brush off the dream state, but the challenge is the waking state. And then I reflected on the notion of praying for your enemies. That is kind of a question I have by why that's so hard. And I think these are kind of tied together because you see yourself as separate, right?
Yeah.
Like somebody, your enemy did something to you, so it creates that separateness. And if you can let go of the separation, then it's easy to wish everyone well. I don't know, I'm kind of working on that, but that came up during my meditation.
Yes, you're right. That's what I and Jerry struggled last week in a podcast to make one person understand that how, it's the same thing, friend and enemy. Friend and enemy is a reflection done by the mind to brand a person as enemy. If I do not exist as a waker, I cannot brand anyone friend and enemy. And that existence of that I is a false I, it's a reflected. It is coming from the mind. So when I recognize the falsity of that I, there is no friend and enemy. So I try to prove that how come Stephen is my enemy and Dennis is my friend? No, your focus is wrong. Your focus has to be there. Who is branding? Who is the doer? Who is the knower that who is a friend and enemy? Are you getting it? So that is present inside me. That is the problem. The problem is not the outer person who is friend and enemy. Are you getting it? Am I clear? That is the problem. And we lose awareness. I take dollar makes me rich. No, my individuality, that feeling of I am is making me rich. All these dollars, early in the morning, they are not waiting for Elon Musk to declare that you are rich. So we take another route. And that is what the master is trying to make us. Anyhow, make me Elon Musk. How are you, Stephen?
Thanks, sir. Thank you. I appreciate everything everyone shared. Um, I've been my contemplation reflections have been trying to look, trying to not to overcomplicate and really strip everything back to a simple and in more recently, it's just identifying the real self versus the false I. And today, when you talked about the dream state and how easy it is to the false I doesn't
Falsify.
exist, it's all completely it's false. It's so that's such a simple concept to understand that it really feeds into the truth. There's only one truth, and that's the real self, and everything else is false. Everything else is a fabrication and an interpretation by the mind, and the mind is in a battle with the real self to be in the forefront. And we have to recognize that, and that's what all the practice, the principles, the contemplation that, and everything on is to be able to say, we're in the waking state, which is where we're all sitting right now. The false I will always be there, but we need to make sure that we put the false I back there and understand the real self up here. And this is just helping me through that journey. So thank you. And as far as my meditation goes, I was very peaceful. So,
Beautifully. You picked up one core message. You chase your mind, you haunt your mind, that all the events in the dream state and also in the waking state are same, except one is for a shorter period and other is for a longer period. That is the only difference. Another point of conviction is that I instantly falsify the dream state. Events are almost the same. Why I don't falsify the waking state? Okay, I keep Eastern wisdom aside. Let me continue to have little more pleasure. Who knows? I will get a permanent pleasure. That idea is also coming from the same mind. You beer guy did not experience the pleasure, but who knows if I can continue to have a permanent pleasure? Let me try it. That is the problem. And that is the ignorance. And that is the suffering. You see the core masses, if you pick up the core masses, how are you, Samir?
I think doing meditation and contemplation and living in false experiences of living in false I builds trust in a real self.
Yeah.
That if we are contemplating, reflecting, and the experiences of false I, we are judging on the means on we are balancing it what is happening. Then we build a trust in ourselves that we are real I.
Yeah.
Means of we are real self.
Yeah.
We don't take the experience of false self. We cannot come to the conclusion that we are real self.
Yes.
In daily doing this makes us mature and makes us more means sharp, and we come to the conclusion that we are real self. And once this is fixed in our mind and intellect that we are real self, then it becomes very easy to do the sadhana.
Yes. Yes, you picked up again another core message. The mind is the cause of the freedom, and mind is the cause of the problem. So what he says that all the activities done by this mind as an individual who says this is I am. Body doesn't say that I am here. Body doesn't say I'm sleeping. Does the body say I'm sleeping? Come on. Does the body say I'm dreaming? No. Even in the waking state, ask the body, are you saying anything? No. Are you paying attention? And now, so what happens? Where the I am comes? I am is living in the mind. Are you clear? I am living in the mind. I am is not living in the right hand or the left hand. I am is living in the mind. Are you clear? I am living in the mind. But that I am is not complete without identifying with the body. Did you get it? When I say I am a waker, so I, in association with the body, I say that I am a waker. I am a waker. No, mind is not there in deep sleep. Mind is not there. You see, it's so simple and yet so profound, the journey. So this is what, Samir has said in different way, that false I has taken over me, and I take it easily. Animals have all the four instincts. We say they are impulsive by nature, they are natural. And then our modern society has also taken that we are not less than animal. If there is any impulsive nature, let me take it for granted. Why I should take for granted? Why I shouldn't examine? Why I shouldn't understand? Because I'm an animal. I should not understand. So don't understand. Then you have to suffer. It's a very profound journey. Very, very profound and a deeper journey. And gradually gradually there is an inner right perception. What is right perception? I'm not a matter. You come down to such a simple thing. You are not matter, you are not inert. What it means? I'm not a waker. What it means? Body is inert. So hence I cannot be a waker. You see, it's so simple, but yet it's very profound, very deep. We'll continue our journey. Thank you very much for sharing. Oh, sorry. How are you, Ashok? I could see you. I'm also moving my lips. Yeah.
सर नमस्ते.
Namaste, sir.
सर मेरा लैपटॉप का कैमरा खराब हो गया है.
Laptop his laptop and camera has gone bad. Yes.
हाँ, तो इसलिए मैं सेल से कर रहा हूँ. सेल तो
Okay.
at the moment.
Tell your camera and the laptop don't get disturbed during the session. Return to normalcy when I have a session. Okay.
सर एक बात मेरे को पूछनी थी.
हाँ जी.
कि जैसे गुरुदेव कहा करते थे ना कि चाय की, वो तो खैर बहुत बड़ी बात कहते हैं, चाय की भी चाहदार है. तो मेरा चाह is the main issue with I mean desire.
Yeah.
Suppose I lost my car say a few months back. So but I need a car now. तो ये need में और चाह में फिर what is the difference?
Need-based desire. You are hungry. You are ready to eat any food, so you satisfy your hunger. That is your need. I want only this kind of a food to satisfy my hunger. That is a desire. So that is an intention created by the false I. Elon Musk is so rich, Even I have in my mind, had I been so rich like him. But when I see that richness exists in I am, it does not exist in the bank. So need and the desire is clearly understood. I clearly see it.
Yeah,
so when I clearly see it, then the happiness is there. But if you continue with the false I, then instead of happiness, there is a misery. There is a suffering. That is all for today. Thank you very much. We'll meet again.
Thank you,
Namaste,
sir.
sir.
Namaste, everyone.
Namaste,
Namaste.
everyone.
Namaste,
Yeah.
everyone.